All right, welcome Algebra 1. Let's do this. So for lesson number 4, what we will be doing is evaluating expressions. So the idea is, how do we substitute certain numbers into an expression? So what I'd like you to do is, first, make sure for today you definitely need a calculator. Have your notes down where we just write these 3 ideas: an algebraic expression, substitution property, and evaluating expression. And let's do this. Let's not waste any time, right? So here, for the first part, what is an algebraic expression? Let's just write down the notes for this. It is a mathematical phrase made up of numbers and variables. Okay. Next part, substitution property. If A equals B, then A may be replaced with B in any expression. Okay. And here, for this part, evaluating expressions, we'll go through it right now. So here, this will be the first part of the lesson. This is the second part. And here, to evaluate expressions, let's take a look at this paper over here. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Right? So to evaluate an expression with variables and replacements, what we do is substitute the variables with their given values. Each time you substitute a variable with a number, put parentheses around the number, follow the order of operations. Okay, enough of the notes for now. Let's get into nitty-gritty of actually solving this. So let's take a look at the first question here. It's saying well, let's actually read the directions before anything, right? It says evaluate each expression, right? And then what is the definition of an expression, right? What was this algebraic expression? What is it? It's just a bunch of numbers and letters put together, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to substitute these values. We have A equals 2, B equals 4, and C equals 7. How can I substitute these 3 numbers, these 3 values into this expression, right? So what do we need to do? First, we need to substitute the number, right? So here, if A is 2, we're going to have a 2. And what's my B? A 4 plus 4 squared plus 7. Now careful, because if you just do this, it's not enough. Make sure that anytime you're substituting in a number for a value or for a letter, we're going to put parentheses around. Okay? And now here, how would you actually solve this out? What would you do to solve 2 times 4 squared plus 7? And one thing I'd like us to see is, like, let's say if we wanted to do this part over here. Imagine if I have 2, actually, let's put it in our notes over here. Let's just take a look. Let's go back for 1 second. Imagine if I wanted to do this, 2 times 4 squared. I have one student say, oh, hey, mister, what we could do is let's multiply 2 times 4, which is 8. And then if I have 8 squared, what is 8 squared? That is 64 because of 8 times 8. But then I have another student say, hey, mister, why don't we do the 4 squared first, right? The 4 squared first is 16 because 4 times 4 is 16. And then we're going to multiply the 2. And if I multiply 2 times 16, I get 32. And if you want, you could always check with your calculator. But then it's a little off, right? Like in one example, a student is multiplying first. And in another example, a student is squaring, then they're multiplying. So then which student is correct? What I want you to do is pause the video and think about it. Which way do you think would be the correct way to continue? Or which way would it be? This way or this way? Right? And let's say you pause the video when you want to think and you have an idea. You have to remember PEMDAS, right? So here, PEMDAS is telling us first we do the parentheses, then we do the exponents. So this is the correct way. If you do this, my heart breaks. Please do not do this anymore. Okie dokie? So let's do it. So for this part here, let's go back to the actual problem. Here, right, we're going to have to follow PEMDAS. So first we have to do the 4 squared first. So this is 2 times 16 plus 7. 2 times 16 is 32 plus 7. What is 32 plus 7? That is 39. Muy bien. Cool. All right. Try the next one over here. Pause the video, right? Pause the video and try this problem on your own. Try this one. How can I substitute x equals -2 into here? What would you do? Right? Well, let's see. Let's say you pause the video and you want to see. Well, first it's going to be 3. And then anywhere I see a variable, I'm going to put the parentheses. And then I'm going to put in, what is my value of x? It's -2 squared minus 4 times -2. Okay, so then be patient. How would you evaluate this, right? What would I have to do first? You have to do the -2 squared first, right? And what is, and I can show it over here, what is -2 squared? That is -2 times -2, which is 4. So this becomes 3 times 4. -4 times -2 is +8, right? And if I were to say, hey, how do you do this into your calculator? Let's just take a look over here real quick. How would I put -2 squared in the calculator, right? And let's just take a look at two different things very quickly. Here, this is -2, the whole thing squared. Oops, whoops, my bad. -2, the whole thing squared, right? And if you want to see how I did that, just very quickly, right? What do? I hit this -2, right? This is -2. I hit the caret squared, or I could even do this -2, and I could hit this x squared over here, and it squares it, right? And now notice when we did -2 squared, what did we get? When we did -2 squared, we got 4, right? Because -2 times -2 is +4. But then watch what happens when I put this into the calculator. For some reason, it's saying -4. Interesting. What do you think the calculator is doing right now? Because here, the calculator is thinking, you see the calculator is following PEMDAS as well. What the calculator is doing, it's saying, hey, Mr. G, first I'm going to do 2 squared, which is 4, and then I'm going to apply the negative. That's what the calculator is doing right now. We know that -2 squared is not -4, but this is what the calculator is doing. So then how do you actually tell the calculator to do what you want? What do you think you would have to do? Make sure you put parentheses. You see here, if I do parentheses, -2 close the whole thing squared, now I'm telling the calculator -2 squared, and now it gives me 4. Just something to have, okay? So let's take a look. So here, hopefully that was good, and that wasn't a waste of time, because I know a lot of students need to learn that. But here, how do we continue? 3 plus 4 is 12, plus 8, that is 20. Very good. Okay, next one. Let's take a look. What I'd like you to do is try these on your own, right? Try these on your own. Let's take a look. Let's say you pause the video when you want to see how to do it. What would happen here? I have A is 3 and B is -4. So then this would be, I'm going to substitute A, so this is 3 squared times -4 minus a -4, oh, maybe I should same colors, a -4 squared. Okay, And in your paper, you should use colors if you can, right? So then how would I do this? I have to do 3 squared first, which is 9. 9 times a negative 4 minus, now what is negative 4 squared? That should be 16. So 9 times negative 4 is negative 36 minus 16, and that is negative 52. Okay. Negative 36 minus 16 is negative 52. Okay. Next one. Let's take a look. This is a squared b minus b squared. So here I put a parentheses here, put a parentheses here, put a parentheses here. My a is 4 squared. What is my b? It's negative 7 minus negative 7. Okay, my bad. This looks really bad. Let me rewrite it again. This is 4 squared, what's my b? Negative 7 minus a negative 7 squared, right? Okay, now here I do 4 squared first, which is 16 times negative 7 minus, what is negative 7 squared? That is 49, right? What is 16 times negative 7? Let's use the calculator, right? What is 16 times a negative 7? It's a negative 112. So negative 112 minus 49. And then what is negative 112 minus 49? Negative 161. Okie dokie. Not bad, not bad. Next one. Let's take a look. Here, what's happening? Oh, sorry. Let's take a look at this one. If I have negative y squared, so this is negative parentheses. What's my y squared? It is negative 4 squared minus 3 times negative 4 times 2. All right, so this is, notice we're going to do negative 4 squared, which is 16. Then you distribute that negative. Then what happens here? Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12 times 2. So that's negative 16 plus 24. So I should have 8. Okay. And ooh, this one, dum dum dum. We have a fraction. Don't freak out. So now here, same idea. I have negative parentheses. This is, my y is negative 12 minus 3. Oh, pause. I just realized I made a mistake for this one. I mixed up my x and y. Oh no, this is wrong. It should be what? Negative, oh my bad, let's start over. It should be negative parentheses 2 squared minus 3 times 2, and then, oh no, sorry, minus 4 times minus 3 times minus 4, and then times a 2 over here. All right, so then how would I do this? This would be negative 4 minus 3 times minus 4 is positive 12 times 2, so negative 4 plus 24, then that should be 20. Okie dokie. Now this one over here with the fraction, let's take a look. This is negative, we're gonna do y squared, right? So it's the square here minus 3 times, what is my x value? Negative 5 over 6 times a negative 12, and then this becomes, how would I do this? This would be negative 144 because we have negative 12 squared minus, well, how do you do this? Let's just pause the video real quick and think about how would I multiply. Let me get a new sheet of paper. How would I multiply negative 3 times negative 5 over 6, right? We need to multiply these two numbers. So here, how would you multiply this whole number to the fraction? You just put the whole number over 1 we're going to multiply negative 3 times negative 5, 15 over 6. Okay, so it's not the best friendly number right now. So here, this is just positive 15 over 6. And then we're going to multiply that by negative 12. So this is negative 144. And then we have to multiply these two numbers, right? First we multiplied these two. Now we got to multiply these two. So what is 15 over 6 times negative 12, right? I have to put this over 1. What is 15 times 12? Let's see, 15 times 12. It's 180. Oh, sorry, it's 180. Then we're going to divide it by, right, this should be negative 180. Then we divide by 6, and that should be negative 30. Okay, so it came out to a nice number at the end. So this just becomes negative 30, and then negative 144 minus 30 is negative 174. Okay, we are done. Hopefully you enjoyed this lesson. What I'd like you to do is try and go through some of the other questions on the other page with a friend or by yourself, or we'll go over them in class together. I'll see you.